Good morning, everyone. We'll be beginning with the certificate course within 2 minutes. I hope all of you are ready. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I think we can wait for another 2-3 minutes. Medha, I think I will call Principal Ma'am once and then I will rejoin. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much for
Okay,
joining
ma'am.
us
Okay,
today,
ma'am.
everyone. We'll be starting the session in 2 minutes, just 2 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. This is just a general briefing before we officially begin with today's program. We welcome you to the 7-day certificate course on unifying body and mind through yoga, brought to you by National Service Scheme Miranda House in collaboration with National Cadet Corps. This is a series of revitalizing lectures with eminent speakers who are not just yoga practitioners but also scholars and educators that will increase our knowledge and productivity about yoga, along with the 20-20-20 formula, where there is 20 minutes of yoga, 20 minutes of meditation, and 20 minutes of journaling on the weekend. Before I hand over the session to Rakshita to officially begin, I request Shrishti to play a short video.
A very warm good morning to all of you present here. I, Rakshita Singh, NSS volunteer, welcome you all to this first day of our week-long certificate course, Unifying Body and Mind Through Yoga, organized by National Service Scheme in collaboration with National Cadet Corps, Miranda House. I would like to welcome our acting principal, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Nanda, NSS Program Officer, Dr. Rekha Kumari, Caretaker Officer, National Cadet Corps, Dr. Archana Kushwaha, and our guest of the day, Ma'am Trishi Jain. Before starting with the session, with immense pleasure, I would like to introduce our acting principal, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Nanda Ma'am, who joined Miranda House in 1993 and is an associate professor in the Department of Political Science. Her research interests include gender, political theory, and human rights. She is actively associated with a number of government and non-government organizations as advisor on gender policy and advocacy programs for youth. Please enlighten us with your words of wisdom, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And congratulations to the NSS and the NCC for having organized this very timely, very relevant course, I must say, on unifying body and mind through yoga. I consider this as a course on living values. These are living values, values that we live by, values that provide us an understanding of who we are. So while we bring about a certain understanding of this integral connection between the mind and the body, or the soul, if you want to say that, when you bring in that integral connection, you become better human beings in the sense that you are kind, you are generous, you are grateful for what you receive, and you have a sense of equanimity. Having said that, I would also like to welcome the speaker, the expert of the day, as well as congratulate Dr. Rekha Kumari and Dr. Archana Kushwaha for having organized this excellent and coordinated program. I was told that it is students who brought in the speakers, and I must congratulate the student volunteers for having done that. Congratulations to you. I see that it is quite a popular one because so many participants have joined the program. I look forward to a learning session. Hope we all try to evolve and become better human beings. The only joy in this world is to be empathetic. Be as empathetic as you can be as grateful as you can be. The rest of it will be taken care of by the world itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. We also have our NSS program officer, Dr. Rekha Kumari, ma'am. Please say a few
Yes.
words, ma'am.
Thank you. I again welcome once more all the participants, and thank you, Principal Ma'am, for joining us and participating in this course. I'm very happy that it is only possible because of the volunteers. They are working day and night to organize this, and yeah, it seems to be very popular, and it's very relevant in this pandemic time, because we need to control our thoughts. We need to keep ourselves physically fit as well. So yoga is something which combines, which brings about a sync, or brings about a harmony between our mental and the physical fitness both simultaneously. And this is something which can never harm anybody. Sometimes we think that yes, we can be fit by doing exercises. Yes, you can go to gym, you can be doing a lot of other exercises, but sometimes if you don't do exercise properly, that can also harm you. But yoga is something, if it is done, it is not just only gives you a fit body, it also calms your mind. It also helps you think as a holistic person, which includes your mental and physical health both. And I feel these days, because of these pandemic, we all are under a lot of stress. We all are in a position where there's so many questions arising in our mind, and but we are not able to answer. But when you sit down for some time in the morning and try to think, do meditation, do some asanas, that helps you, maybe it also helps you to solve a lot of things. Okay, so I feel this is, as ma'am said, it's very relevant in this time, and it is going to help everybody. This is what we are hoping, that at the end of this course, maybe we all are in a better position to understand our own selves and to even understand the world outside, and maybe take on the fight against Corona in a way much more, you can say, the stronger ways. Thank you so much. And I also welcome the speaker of the day, Trisha Jain. And I hope, and I'm really grateful that she gave time to us and she's joining us today. And what else? I think it's going to be a really enjoyable session. So welcome every participant and welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Before starting the session, everyone, I request you to please sit comfortably, and please take a note that we'll be circulating a Google form for the attendance. Kindly fill it. I also request you to put your queries in the chat box, if any. When you do asana consistently over time, increasingly challenging poses become more accessible. It's a lot of fun to discover that your body is capable of doing things you never thought would be possible. When you will be ready for advanced poses varies greatly. It depends on how long and how regularly you have been practicing. To motivate the audience and show them what you can achieve after being a regular practitioner of yoga, and to keep the enthusiasm maintained for a fit India, the theme for today's session is advanced yoga asanas to fire up your flow. Because we believe with the mature practice comes the option of exploring yoga at home on a deeper level. With this, I now invite Cadet Anadha to take over and introduce our speaker.
Trushi Jain is a yoga preceptor and a wellness enthusiast. Helpful, empathetic, and flexible are three traits that describe her the best. After working as a luxury brand management professional, she outgrew the hustle bustle lifestyle and decided that it was vital for her to take a breather. Having been very flexible physically from the start, she decides to join a yoga class out of interest, but life had other plans. After continuing to learn, practice yoga for months, she observed lots of positive changes in herself, both in terms of physical and mental health. That's when she decided that this is how she wants to give back to the society and take the legacy of yoga forward in her own stride. She finished her training in RYT 200 hours and RYT 500 hours certified from Yoga Alliance USA, along with finishing a pregnancy fitness and education course and an online food and health course from Stanford. It's been more than 3 years of her teaching, practicing, and sharing of the ancient gift of yoga with people from all over India and abroad. Through yoga lessons, she is helping people with weight loss, PCOD, thyroid, diabetes, and in recovery from COVID 19.
With this, we invite Trishi ma'am to take over.
Hello, everyone. So thank you very much for having me here. I hope you can hear me clearly. And thank you, NSS team. Thank you, NCC. Miranda
Thanks a lot for
House.
sparing
Thank you.
time. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Everything for good health. So I'm glad to see such a good response from you all, and you're here to join in. And already it's been so much said about yoga that, why we do it, why should we practice it? I don't want to speak about that again. I just want to put it one point that we practice asanas so that we unify our body and mind together. The main purpose of yoga is to unite our body and mind. So during the practice of asanas, the whole point is that we focus on ourselves, focus on each muscle, focus on each body part, which is being stretched. Where is the pressure, so that our concentration and focus becomes better. Okay. So I also was notified that not a lot of you have practiced yoga earlier. A lot of you are beginners. So we are going to take it very slowly. I'm going to show you a few advanced practices also where you can advance up your stretch. And we're going to start with the basic ones for the ones who have never practiced it. So only point is to keep yourself focused. We see where you're feeling the stretch. Are you comfortable or not? And are you okay to go a little forward, stretch yourself a little forward today? Okay, so please come and join me on your mats. We'll start with our practice. And if you're practicing along with me, I would request, please keep your video camera on and microphone turned off so that I can continue looking at you if you're doing it properly or not. If there's a situation where you're not comfortable, I could help you with that. So come, let's join me on the mat. Okay. Can you see me clearly? Okay, just do a thumbs up. Yeah. Now we're going to start with some positivity. We're going to start with prayer pose. So bring your feet together, hands in namaskar by your chest. We're going to do a prayer pose. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and deep breath out, relaxing your mind, relaxing your body, and pray to your gods, pray to the energy you believe in, or just pray to your own self. Pray to your physical body to help you throughout the practice. And then we slowly gonna look down, open our eyes, relax our hand, relax our feet into a comfortable distance. We're gonna start with first few stretches, few warm-ups. So interlock your fingers in front. Take a deep breath in, bring your palms into your chest. Breathe out and push your palms forward. Stretch your shoulder blades away. Inhale, bring your palms into your chest. Breathe out and stretch your palms forward. Push your wrist joints, push your elbows up. Breathe and bring your palms in. Breathe out and stretch your palms out. One more time. Inhale, bring your palms in. And exhale, stretch your palms out. Breathe in slowly, come back. Breathe out and relax your hands down. Now, we're gonna do Surya Namaskar, which is the best warm-up, best whole body workout. I'm gonna take you step by step how to do it. We're gonna do 4 rounds today. So we start at our head of the mat. We bring our feet together, hands in Namaskar. This is the first pose known as prayer pose. Take a deep breath in and breathe out, relax your hand. Inhale, take your arms over your head and bend backwards, stretching your stomach, chest, your arms, pressing your spine. And as you exhale, you fold forward, stretching your spine forward, squeeze your stomach in. So you exhale and keep your knees straight. You stretch your entire back of the body, your hamstrings and your spine, and you pull your stomach in. From here, place your palms beside your feet and slowly breathe in. Take your right leg back into Asva Sanchalan, known as low lunge. You don't touch the knee on the ground, you keep the knee lifted up. You roll back the shoulders and look up. The point where you feel the stretch is your right quads, your right hip flexors. And you breathe out, slowly take your left leg back into a Dandasana, known as plank. You stay here for a couple of breaths. Feel the pressure on your stomach, on your quads, pressure on your palms, and then slowly drop your knees. And now we do Ashtang Namaskar, which is we don't touch our hips or our lower abdominal muscle on the ground. We just bend our elbows and take our chin, chest, and shoulder on the ground. From here, breathe and extend your feet backwards. Inhale and up into Bhujang Asana. Roll back your shoulders, stretch your stomach and chest. Keep pushing your hip down so you feel the pressure on your spine and your tailbone. Curl up your toes. Breathe out and lift your hips up. Press your heels down into a downward facing dog known as Parvatasana. Stretch your hamstrings here, stretch your shoulder blades away. Take a deep breath in and bring your right leg back in the center of both your hands. Again, stretch your left quad, left hip flexor. This is where we go back from the way we came. Exhale, bring your opposite leg back into Haspadasana, which is forward fold. Squeeze your stomach in, keep your knees straight, stretch your spine. If this is too comfortable for you, this is too easy for you, you can advance your practice with holding your ankle and taking your head towards your knee. You pull your stomach in, so you exhale out, create pressure on your stomach and breathe in. Go back into Hastatan, back bend. Stretching your stomach and chest, pressing your spine. Exhale and bring your hands by your chest in Namaskar. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Now, we started with our right leg. Now we're going to do with our left. So one Surya Namaskar set involves doing it from the right and then doing it from the left. Both rounds make it one. So we practice and balance our stretch. We do it with the left. Take a deep breath in. Relax your hands, inhale, backward into Hastatan, back bend. And as you exhale, go forward into Haspadasana. Advance your stretch if you can. And if you're someone who cannot touch your toes, just stay here, wherever you are. Stretch your spine, stretch your hamstrings, and keep your stomach squeezed in. Palms beside your feet. Take your left leg back into Asva Sanchalan. Very important point here is to keep your knee over your ankle. Don't let your knee roll over your feet. So keep it straight. Exhale into Dandasana. Slowly dropping your knees down. Taking a chin, chest, and shoulder into Ashtang Namaskar. Extending your feet at the back. Breathe in into Bhujang Asana. Roll back your shoulders. Press your hips down. As you exhale into downward facing dogs, press your heels, stretch your hamstring, head press down. Take a deep breath in. Bring your left leg back in the center of both your hands. Push your hips down. As you exhale, opposite leg back into forward fold. And breathe in, back bend. Stretch your arms, stretch your stomach, press your spine. Exhale into prayer pose. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. So this was one round of Surya Namaskar. If you're not doing anything, if you're not practicing any of the asanas, you can just do Surya Namaskar. That'll be a good workout for your day. We're doing only one round. We're going to start with a breather. Place your palms at your waist. Turn your right neck on your right shoulder. Take a deep breath in and rotate your neck backwards. On the opposite shoulder, exhale. Take a breathe in and again do only backward rotations. The point here of doing backward only is because we keep looking down most of the time in our day. We use our phones, we are writing something. We tend to only look down, which stretches our cervical bone. So we need to do the counter stretch of pressing it backwards. Last round. Breathe in, rotate it backwards. Breathe out on the opposite shoulder. Inhale again and rotate. Slowly come back and relax. Now we're going to start with standing asana. First up we'll do is Ekpad Asana. Ekpad Asana is a balancing pose. You need a lot of focus and concentration in it. So keep your eyes gazed at a point in front of your eyes. Slowly fold your right leg. Place your right foot on your inner left thigh. Now, if you cannot balance here, what you can do is you can take the support from the wall, fold your leg and stay into Ekpad Asana. And if you are very good, stay here and bring your hands by your chest in Namaskar. Continue breathing in and out in Dhanasana. To relax your breath, relax your heartbeat. We'll stay here for 5 deep breaths in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you're very comfortable here, the next advanced asana from here is Vrish Asana. So you take your hands slowly over your head. You push your stomach, chest, and your arms up. Pull your body upwards against the gravity. Pressure on your left foot. Keep your right knee pointing on the side. So make a 90 with both your legs. 90 degree. Keep pushing yourself up. And as you exhale, relax your hands slowly on the side. Bring your right foot down. We're going to repeat the same with our left leg. Pick a point at your eye level and focus at that point. Place your left foot on your inner right thigh. Knee pointing on the side. Slowly bring your hands by your chest in Namaskar. Take a deep breath in and breathe out for 5 rounds. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly take your hands over your head into Vrishasana. Tree pose. Push your stomach, chest up. Stretch your spine upwards. Slowly continue breathing in and out. And relax your hands on the side. Bring your left leg back. Now, next up is chair pose. This is Utkat Asana. We take 1 foot distance between our legs. And how do we measure it? Is we keep our 1 foot straight, which is vertical, and 1 foot horizontal. Where the feet ends, turn your foot and place it straight. Keep your feet always parallel to each other, pointing in front. Now breathe in, stretch your arms up near your ears As you exhale, bend your knees, push your hip down into Utkat Asana. Hold here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, fire up your thighs. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Slowly come up and relax your hands down. I'm going to show you the advanced version of this one. If you're comfortable with this one, you can go up to the next asana. You breathe in, stretch your arms up. As you breathe out, you bend your knees, bring your arms by your chest in Namaskar, and twist yourself. Bring your left elbow to your right knee, point your right elbow upwards, and hold here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come up and relax. Opposite side, repeating the same process. Breathe in, stretch your arms up. Breathe out, bend your knees, hands in Namaskar. Twist yourself and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly coming back and relaxing your hands. Take a breath in again and breath out, spreading your legs into 2 to 3 feet distance away from each other. Next up, we'll do warrior pose, known as Veerbhadrasana. Warrior pose is supposed to give you a lot of courage and confidence, which might help you to do advanced asana during the process. So take a breath in, keep your shoulders squared in front. Inhale, bend your right knee, make a 90 degree at your right knee. Take your arms at your shoulder level straight and turn your neck towards your right hand. Gaze over your right hand, hold this posture for 5 breaths again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Relax your hands, slowly bring your right foot back. Straighten your right foot, point your left foot towards your left side, shoulders squared in front. Take a breath in, bend your left knee. Take your hands at your shoulder level. Gaze over your left side and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Relax your hands. Slowly bring your leg back. Bring your foot back. To advance up this asana, we're going to do the next variation. Point your right foot outwards again. Turn your shoulders towards your right side completely. Take a breath in, bend your right knee down. Take your hands over your head into Namaskar and slightly bend forward. Feel the pressure on your right thigh. Stretch on your left upper thigh, left quads. Stretch on your stomach and chest. Pressure on your spine and your hips. As you exhale, slowly relax your hands, bring your knee back. Very good. Turn your feet back straight and point your left foot out. We'll repeat the same with the left side. I'm going to demonstrate you and then I'm going to have a check on you if you're doing it right or not. So take a breath in, bend your knee, arms over your head and hold this posture. I want to see you hold this posture 1 for 5 breaths. 2, 3, very good. Surya, 4, Aditi, very well. Sakshi, Priyanshi, Medha, Tanu, you're doing it very nicely. Amazing. Take a deep breath out and relax your hands from the side. Are you enjoying this? Do you want to advance this a little bit more? So give me a thumbs up so I can tell you the advanced version as well. Okay, great to see that response. We're going to advance this process a little more. Staying in Veerbhadrasana, it's known as Upartit Kona Asana as well. Point your right foot out. Take a breath in, bend your right knee again. Take your right hand, place it near your right foot and stretch your left arm upwards. Push your hip down, making a 90 at your right knee and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly bring your hand back, straighten your knee and come back up. Very well. Left foot out, straighten your right foot. Take a deep breath in, bend your left knee, left hand near your left foot, stretch your arm upwards and hold this position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Slowly come back and relax your hand. Take a deep breath in. We're going to do shoulder rotation for relaxing our breath. So breathe in, lift your shoulders up, press them back and relax. Once again, breathe in, shoulders up, press them back and relax. Inhale, your shoulders up, press them back and relax. We're going to do the counter stretch. Press your shoulders back, lift them up and bring them from the front. 3 rounds. Breathe in, shoulders up and relax it from the front. Inhale and exhale. Very well. Slowly come back and relax. Now we're gonna go into seated asanas. So if you want, you can take your camera down or however you're comfortable. We're gonna sit down on our mats with legs straight. We're gonna go into Janusasana. Keep your legs straight. Fold your right foot, bring your right foot on your inner left thigh, knee pointing on the side. Don't take it too backwards. Don't take it very in. Place it, pointing it on the outside. Hands beside your knee. Take a breath in, stretch your arms up. And as you exhale, fold yourself forward. So stretch from your tailbone. Stretch your spine and go down. If you cannot reach till your toes, stay here and hold. But if you can, hold your toes, exhale out, pull your stomach in, stretch your spine, and take your head towards your knee. Hold for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Observe yourself. 4. Can you stretch it a little more? 5. And slowly breathe in and come back, relaxing your hands on the side. With the left foot now, switch your legs, fold your left leg, keep your right leg straight. Take a deep breath in, stretch your arms over your head. As you exhale, elongate your spine, reach for your toes, don't bend your knee. Because if you bend your knee, you won't feel the stretch in your hamstring. We want to feel the stretch in our hamstring. Keep your knee straight even if you're reaching here for 5 holds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly bring your hands back and relax your hands on the side. Very good. Breathe in and breathe out. Into variation 3 of Janusarasana. Open both your legs on the side. Comfortably, how much ever you can open, even if you can open this much, this is good for you. So open your legs as much as you can. Place your palms in center. Take a deep breath in, stretch your arms up. As you breathe out, again, elongate your spine, take your hands down on the ground. And inch by inch, go forward. If you cannot, that is fine. But the most important point is to feel the stretch on your groin muscles, on your inner thighs. So if you're reaching here, you're gonna feel the stretch. If you're reaching here, your body allows, you're gonna feel the stretch still. And if still this is too easy for you, take your head towards the ground. Hold there for 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly bring your hands in, lift them up and relax it on the side. I want you to do it one more time. I want to see how much can you fold. Keep your hands, breathe in, stretch them up, breathe out and go down. Place your fingers on the ground. Stretch your arms in front. Very good. 1, hold, exhale, pull your stomach in, belly pulled in. 3, Very good, Nidhi. 4. Very good, Urvashi. 5. And 6. Slowly bring your hands back in. Perfect. And relax it on the side. Very good. Breathe in and breathe out. You can bring your legs back in, shake them up and relax. You will have a lot of stretch on your groin muscles and your abductors, so shake them up and relax them completely. Breath in and breath out. Now, we're gonna do is Naukasana, boat pose, which is very good to strengthen our core muscles, our lower abdominal muscles. I know most of you might know it, most of you might not. So we're gonna practice. For the beginners, you lift one leg at a time. For the advanced version, lift both your legs together. As you exhale and hold your fingers pointing towards your toes, knees straight, point your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly bring your legs back and relax your hands. I want you to do one more time. If you're feeling the vibrations on your stomach, if you're feeling pressure on your thighs, that means you're doing it correctly. So once again, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift both your legs, knees straight and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly bring your legs back and relax. Very good. Take a deep breath in again. Don't forget to breathe in and breathe out during the whole process. It's very important to give oxygen to the body when you're exercising, when you're doing the asanas. So breathe in and breathe out. Now we're gonna do Ardha Matsyendrana Asana. We're gonna start with the advanced version, and I'm going to demonstrate to how to go slower or easier on yourself. So fold your right leg, bring your right heel near your left hip, and take your left foot near your right knee. Okay? Place your left hand near your spine, straight, and now breathe in, lift your left hand up, bring it over your right knee, reach for your ankle, bring it over your left knee, reach for your left ankle, turn around as you exhale, gaze over your right shoulder backwards. Now, if this is too difficult for you, if you cannot reach your ankle, just hug your leg, bring your knee to your chest, hug your leg to your chest, exhale, create pressure from your thigh on your stomach, and turn around and look backwards. Hold here for 5 breaths again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly relax yourself. Bring your hand back if you're doing the advanced version. Straighten your leg. And we're going to do it from the opposite side. Fold your leg. Bring your left heel near your right hip. Your right foot near your left knee. Right hand near your spine straight. Breathe in, lift your left hand up, exhale, reach for your ankle if you can, exhale and twist your body. Feel the twisting in your spine, stretch on your sides, exhale and pressure on your stomach. Breathe in and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly breathe in, bring your hand back, straighten your hand, relax it. Straighten your legs. Take a breath in. Now fold your legs into Padmasana or Ardha Padmasana. So Ardha Padmasana is just putting your one foot on your thigh, keeping your opposite foot under your knee. This is Ardha Padmasana, known as half Padmasana, lotus pose. And the full lotus pose is keeping both your feet on your thighs. This is Padmasana. Whichever one you can do, just stay there and we're gonna take a breather. Stretch your arms up, exhale, place your palms on the ground, elongate your spine and stay here. Take at least 5 rounds of deep breathing in And 5 rounds of deep breathing out. Relax your heartbeat, relax your breathing. Give yourself a small break to relax yourself. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now slowly come back and relax your hands on the side. We're gonna go into sleeping asanas now. So turn around, lie down on your spine. Always make sure that you turn yourself around and then lie down. Otherwise, there's a lot of pressure on your tailbone and then you start getting back pains. So always turn around and lie down on your spine. We're gonna do Sarvankasana. I would want you to first have a look at me. Let me demonstrate it to you. See how it's done. Then you practice. And I'm going to show you the easier version also if you cannot do this one. So take your palms, place it under your hips, supporting your hips. Have a look first. Take a deep breath in, bring both your legs up at 90 degrees. Now, keep your knees straight, support your hips with your palms. Swing your hips slightly as you take your entire body weight on your elbows and push your hips up. So this is Sarvankasana, known as shoulder stand, where your shoulders, hips, and your ankle are into a straight line. Now, I want you to do it very slowly. If you're not someone who has been practicing this for a long time, please use the wall. How do you use the wall? Is place your feet on the wall, support your hips and lift them up. And switch your legs, alternate legs straight up. So take the support of the wall and try practicing Sarvankasana because it is an advanced asana. But the benefit of this asana is same as a Shirshasana or a headstand. I'm going to give you instructions once again. Very good. I can see Kanika, Tanu doing it already. Sneha, if you need, please use the wall. Hold there. If this is easy for you, you can go into Hal Asana also for the ones already doing Sarvankasana. Once again, slowly come back on the ground. I'm going to give you in the instructions. When you come back, please come back very slowly so that you don't injure your neck muscle. And how do you come back? Bend your knees, bring your hips first, and then bring your legs. Very good, Jyoti. I can see you doing it. Very good, Galaxy. Nana, very good. Use the wall properly. Breathe in, bring your legs up at 90. Swing your hips, bring your shoulders, hip, and ankle into a straight line. Very good. Hold there. So you breathe out. Pull your belly in to engage your core muscles to hold yourself there. Do it maximum to maximum for 3 minutes. You should not be holding Sarvankasana more than 3 minutes. Now, slowly, as you, very good, Shrishti, very good, Priyanshi, I can see you all doing. I'm sorry if I'm not taking your name, but if you're doing it great, you know it. Don't worry, breathe out and slowly come back and place your legs back on the ground. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Now, for the ones who are already doing Sarvankasana, you're gonna go into Chakrasana. Please, if you have already achieved Sarvankasana, then only go into Halasana. Sorry, we're gonna do Halasana, go into Halasana and then Karnapidasana, which is the advanced version of the same. So breathe in, bring your legs up, support your hips, swing your legs up slightly. This is Sarvankasana, known as shoulder stand. Now slowly take your legs back on the ground. Keeping your knees straight, stretch your arms on the side. This is Hal Asana. Again, if you're not able to do it, you're just holding here, support your spine, support your hips and hold here. Exhale, pull your belly in. There'll be slight compression on your neck in Halasana. So keep your breath out, stretch on your spine and your legs. This is Halasana. And then from here, we go into Karnapida, which is bringing our knees to your ears. This is a very advanced asana. So only if you have achieved all these things easily, then only go into Karnapida, which is knees to your ears.
Then going back into Halasana, bring your one leg up and then slowly opposite into Sarvang. How do you come back from Sarvang? Bend your hips, bend your knees. Slowly bring your hips back, keeping your legs straight on the ground and relax. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. The counter stretch for Sarvang Asana is Setu Bandh Asana or Chakrasana. First, we're going to start with the Setu Bandh, which is bridge pose, and then we'll go into Chakrasana wheel pose. Bring your heels to your hips, hold your ankle or place your palms straight on the ground. Take a deep breath in, lift your hips up, stretch your stomach, stretch your chest muscle, stretch your upper thighs, make a 90 at your knees. So don't go like this. Stretch your stomach so that you make a 90 at your knees. Pressure on your shoulders. 1, 5 breaths down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly bring your hips back. Relax your stomach and your chest. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Lift your hips up. Stretch your stomach and chest. If you're very new to this asana, please support your spine with your hands and your hips with your hands so that you can hold your longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly coming back and relax yourself. Deep breath in and deep breath out. This was the basic counter stretch for Sarvankasana. The advanced version is the Chakrasana, but please don't do it right now unless and until you've already practiced a Chakrasana. If you are someone who has already practiced a Chakrasana, then only do it. Please keep lying down on your back. I'm going to show you, demonstrate you how to do it. And if you haven't, I'm going to tell you another version of it to do it. So the easier version first is doing a tabletop. Bring your heels close to your hip, fingers pointing towards your hips. Take a deep breath in, lift your hips up and turn backwards. Turn your neck backwards, stretch your stomach and chest, hold there for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Slowly come back. You do one more round of the same, but for the people who have already done Chakrasana, I can see Tanu doing it. So please practice Chakrasana. That is bringing your heels to your hips, placing your palms near your ears, elbows pointing up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in, push your hips upwards, press your palms, press your knees, and slowly lift your shoulders off the ground. This is Chakrasana. Hold here if you have practiced it. If you cannot, you can just touch your head on the ground and stay here also, that is fine. And then slowly come back on the ground. Hold for 5 counts only. Deep breath in. Very good, Tanu. Very good for trying, Kyanshi, Sakshi. Very good, Kanika. Slowly as you exhale, Surya, you're doing the tabletop. Alexia, you're doing Chakrasana. Jyoti, very good. Sunifia, very nice. Durga, SOS, please, very good. Slowly as you exhale, come back on the ground with your comfortable position. And now, last up, we're going to do the counter stretches. That is massaging our spine in Jhulan Asana. Bring your knees to your chest. Tightly hug your legs. Now, as you breathe out, you lift yourself up till your tailbone, massaging your entire spine. Breathe in again, lie down on your back, breathe out and come back up. We'll do for the 10 rounds. Inhale and exhale, massage your spine completely. If you ever have a back pain, this is a really good stretch. Do it on a cushioned floor and massage your spine. Breathe in and breathe out for 10 rounds. Very good. We have done 5. You're doing it with me. 6, 7, 8, 9, and last up, 10. Now, slowly lie down on your back. We're gonna go into Shavasana with the stretch of Yastik Asana. Inhale, stretch your arms up, press your toes down. So in Yastik Asana, you stretch all your muscles so that when you exhale and come back, your muscles, your body parts are at their comfortable position. Bring your legs and your hands back and then slowly lie down into Shavasana. Take 2 to 3 feet distance between both your legs. Hands beside your body, palms open up towards the sky. And take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Inhale and exhale. Once again, relax your body down. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Relax your body completely towards the ground. Now, keeping your eyes closed, take your focus towards your legs. Relax each muscle, each part on your legs. That is your toes, your heels, your shin, calf muscle, knee joint, your quads and your thighs, your abductors and your groins. Relax your pelvic bone, pelvic muscles, your stomach muscles as well. Moving up, relax your hip joints. Continue breathing in and out. Relax your chest muscles and your entire spine towards the ground. Relax each vertebrae towards the ground. Relax both your hands, your fingers, your palms, your wrist joints, elbow joint, even your shoulder joints relax towards the ground. Taking your focus now towards your neck muscle and your face muscles. Relax your neck, lightly close your eyes. Relax your jaws and your teeth. And let go of all the stress from your mind. Give yourself a couple of minutes to relax your mind without any stress, without any thoughts. The amount of energy we have created in our body through yoga, during the whole session, we want to store that energy in our body. We don't want to waste it directly going into doing anything, any work of ours, or even using our mind right now. We want to store that energy in. Try not to find yourself distracted. Keep your awareness towards your own body and your breath. And then we slowly turn onto your right side. Take a deep breath in here. With the support of your left hand, keeping your eyes closed, slowly lift yourself up and sit back into a comfortable position. That can be Sukhasana,
Ardha Padmasana, or even a Padmasana. However you're comfortable, please sit up slowly, keeping your eyes closed. We're gonna take a couple of minutes here to summarize our session. Place your palms on your knees in Gyan Mudra, that is bringing your index finger and your thumb together. Keep your eyes closed, and I want you to quickly remember what all you did in the session today. Throughout the practice, how did you feel? Which asanas did you enjoy the most and which not so much? Acknowledge all your thoughts, recollect all your thoughts, and register them in your mind. Try to observe the smallest, the minute details that you might have forgotten or ignored when we are doing the practice. Acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge how do you feel after the whole practice. What are the emotions that your body is indicating you towards? Are you in a relaxed, happy, energized, excited, or relaxed or laid back, lazy mode right now? How do you feel? Acknowledge your emotions and register them mentally. And then we're going to slowly come back to ourselves. We'll start with 3 Om chants to end our practice. Take a deep breath in and chant Om with me. Om. 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 And keeping your eyes closed, slowly bring your palms by your chest in Namaskar. Bow down your head and pay your gratitude towards God. Be thankful towards your own body for supporting you throughout the practice. And then slowly coming back up, rub your palms together. Place your warm palms on your face, on your eyes lightly, on your entire body. And then slowly looking down towards the ground, open your eyes and relax. Thank you so much for having me here. It was great doing the practice with you. We're going to soon start a Q&A round, which I was told that if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful session. I'm sure each one of us will now incorporate some form of yoga in our lives and move towards a healthy lifestyle together. The floor is open for questions now. You guys can ask if you have any questions. Put them in the chat box.
And even if you don't have any question, I would love to know, how do you feel after the practice? Are you feeling relaxed, energized? What were the emotions that your body showed you after the practice of yoga? Okay.
Sanjali is asking, do you conduct these kind of sessions often?
Okay. So I do take my personal training sessions where I teach one-on-one basis. You can join that session. Otherwise, you can ask your college, you can ask NSS, NCC team to invite me again. I would love to host you again and make you do an advanced or different kind of practice, different kind of flow. Thank you so much. I enjoy that you had so much fun during the practice.
Swati is asking, when is the right time to do yoga with empty stomach?
With empty stomach, you should do it any time of the day, but you should eat only like 3 hours before you start practicing yoga. 3 to 4 hours gap you need to give your stomach, then practice yoga. For a asana stretch, I would say the evening time is more preferable because your body is warm during the whole day. Your body has been warmed up, your muscles have opened up, so you can do the asanas better by the end of the day. But for meditation, do it in the morning because your mind is more calmer. You don't have the thoughts going around in your mind. You're not thinking about what to do, what not to do. So you can practice meditation mainly in the morning.
We have a question from Apurva ma'am. She's saying, I
Right.
face a lot of difficulty in holding a plank. Do you have any
Right.
tips?
Okay. So for a plank, you need to develop core strength. Of course, plank is the best way to develop core strength. That is known as Dandasana we do in yoga. You can do planks, or what you can do is start doing, like when we were on our back, we bring our legs up at 90 degree and hold that. Hold that because that also increase your core strength. That also increase your abdominal muscles. Practice that as well if you can.
We have another question.
Yeah.
Siddhi, that she's asking how to incorporate yoga and meditation in our daily lives, in the daily routine.
Okay. So daily routine, what you can do is yoga is all about awareness, your concentration on one thing. You're completely focused on that one thing and you're not distracted from anything. So even if you're eating food, if your mind is focused on what you're eating, how you're chewing, how it's going in your stomach, you're concentrating, you're doing yoga. If you're practicing, you're studying, if you're writing something, you are thinking about only writing, that is when you're doing yoga. Not thinking, not getting distracted is when you're doing yoga. So you can incorporate it very easily in your whole day. And you can whenever you get time, if you're free, even like 5 minutes, what you can do is sit straight and just observe your breath. You breathe 24/7. That's not going to go anywhere from you. So just sit and breathe. Observe your breath. That is doing yoga in itself.
Pratibha is asking, ma'am, what poses we can perform for helping with nausea?
Nausea, what you can perform is you start developing this nerve, which creates nausea most of the time. You do slight neck rotation, start with that, build up your exercises, do slightly more stretches on your back bend. It'll help these muscles. So stretch this muscle and press this muscle is one to help. You can do Bhujang Asana, you can do Dhanur Asana, you can do a lot of things, but do it under someone's guidance, because right now I'm telling you, I have not known you personally. How is your practice? So do it under someone's guidance. Of course, I'm just giving you a general terms of what you can practice and cannot.
Akriti is asking, ma'am, that if you are a person who has breathing problems, then what are the things to be taken care of while performing yoga?
While performing yoga, if you have asthma or any other type of breathing problem, is continue breathing in and out. As I mentioned, never keep your body out of oxygen. So when you're out of oxygen, that's when you start breathing fast. So continue, breathe in and breathe out. Do diaphragmatic breathing, which is very easy. You can Google it up. You can ask me personally later on, which is just breathing in and out slowly is going to help increase the speed of your breathing.
Priyanshi is asking, what are the best asanas for weight loss?
For weight loss, everything is very good for weight loss. Every muscle, every body part you stretch, every asana you do in yoga basically stretches your entire body. You did chakrasana. See, your entire front of the body, from your face, for your head till your toes were being stretched. From your neck muscle till your back of your thighs and your legs were pressed. So each muscle is working together in harmony in yoga. You can do any asana, even the smallest of sitting straight and doing this is also good, but you need to be consistent with it. Be consistent, focus on your diet. A lot of factors goes in when you're doing for weight loss, when you're doing for diabetes, for arthritis, a lot of different things come into factor when you're doing it for particular one problem.
We have a question from Jyoti that what yoga we should do for developing strength and arm strength.
For developing your arm strength, so basically what you can do is start with Dandasana. It develops a lot of arm strength. If you can do Chakrasana, again, that develops a lot of your arm strength. You can advance each practice, which we are going into Bakasana. And if you're someone who cannot do all these advanced stretches, that is completely okay. Start with the Janusar Asana, forward fold with it. Start with doing Ardha Matsyendra Asana, that is twisting your arm, developing your shoulder mobility. Do all of these easier versions.
Okay, ma'am. This is the last question from Charul that what yogasanas we can do for diabetes and thyroid patients.
So I would recommend there are two types of diabetes, and thyroid is also two types. Both are very different. So you can do for thyroid is engaging the thyroid gland. So stretching your neck muscles, basically. You can do Bhujang Asana, you can do Majri Asana, which is known as cat and camel, which is very good for that. For diabetes, again, Ardha Matsyendra Asana, you're twisting, you're engaging your stomach, is really good for your diabetes. But please, please, please consult me separately or consult a professional separately, because all these things need to be seen in your reports. See the reports first. How is the person? How is the weight? How is the height? What are the diet plans goes into the action? And then you follow all these things. So just the generic ones are Ardha Matsyendra Asana, Bhujang Asana, Majri Asana. You can just do it. And if someone who have a severe problem with all these things, please consult the profession and continue the practice.
Okay, so
Okay.
Now we have come to an end to our Q&A session.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was
For
just saying,
yeah.
anyone want to ask anything, can please go ahead, or you can message me personally, or can share your practice with NSS team. You can share your doubt with NSS NCC team, and then let me know. That would be great.
Ma'am, we'll be sharing your social media platforms with everybody on WhatsApp. So you can contact ma'am anytime you want later on and get in touch.
You can
with her
also
for
share your practice from today. Share your beautiful asanas with me on your Instagram and Facebook. We would love to repost you all. So, but just keep your profiles open. You mention us and your profiles are closed, we can't see it. Keep your profiles open so that all the team can see it and appreciate the kind of efforts you have put in.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. With this, I would like to
you.
invite Urvi to give the word of thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I am positive that your motivating ideas would inspire all of us for a healthier and happier tomorrow. Concluding today's enriching and rejuvenating session, I would like to take the opportunity to extend a heartfelt thanks and gratitude to our principal, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Nanda, for her constant guidance and blissful presence. A big token of appreciation to our NSS Program Officer, Dr. Rekha Kumari, and NCC Caretaker Officer, Dr. Archana Kushwaha, along with the entire organizing committee for successfully collaborating and organizing such a wonderful session. Secondly, the program wouldn't have been possible without the efforts and inputs of Ms. Trishi Jain, who spent her valuable time with us today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Last, but never the least, I would like to thank and appreciate the participants for being so attentive and forthcoming throughout. We hope to see you tomorrow and in all the coming sessions with even more vivacity and enthusiasm. Till then, keep practicing yoga and be active. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I also request everyone to kindly fill the attendance form that has been circulated in the chat box, post which you can leave the meeting. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye. Have fun.
Bye. Meet you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you.